Title: A Trial by Fire. The Unforeseen Odyssey. The anticipation of starting a new job is often a tumultuous whirlwind of emotions, a concoction of excitement, nerves, and the promise of new beginnings. This was no different for me as I embarked on my journey into the realm of the legal profession, armed with fresh ambition and a head full of dreams. Little did I know that my initiation into the world of law would be a trial by fire, a harrowing odyssey that would test my mettle in ways I never imagined. My first day at the prestigious law firm was like stepping into a world of polished suits and bustling corridors, a microcosm of ambition and intellect. With my heart pounding with anticipation, I navigated the sleek, modern office building, ready to make my mark in the legal arena. But little did I know that fate had a different plan in store for me. As I entered the designated floor, the receptionist greeted me with a warm smile, a beacon of hospitality in the sea of unfamiliar faces. She directed me to the office of my supervisor, Mr. Thompson, a formidable figure known for his uncompromising demeanor. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, I knocked on the door, my palms clammy despite the cool air conditioning. "Come in," came the gruff voice from within. I stepped into the office, my eyes meeting Mr. Thompson's piercing gaze as he assessed me with a keen scrutiny that sent shivers down my spine. His office was a reflection of his personality, austere and devoid of any personal touches, save for the neatly organized stacks of legal documents that adorned his desk. "Welcome to the firm," he said briskly, his tone betraying no hint of warmth. "I trust you're prepared to hit the ground running." I nodded fervently, eager to prove myself worthy of the opportunity. "Good," he continued, his gaze unwavering, "because we have a rather pressing matter that requires your immediate attention." My heart sank as he handed me a thick file, the weight of responsibility settling heavily on my shoulders. I barely had time to process the contents when he dropped another bombshell. "You'll be accompanying me to the courthouse for a hearing this afternoon," he announced, his tone brooking no argument. With a sinking feeling in my stomach, I realized that my first day was about to take a drastic turn. Little did I know that the events that would unfold would far surpass the realms of my worst nightmares. As we made our way to the courthouse, Mr. Thompson briefed me on the case, a labyrinth of legal intricacies that left my head spinning. The anticipation gnawed at my insides as we entered the hallowed halls of justice, the weight of the impending hearing bearing down on me like a leaden cloak. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as the proceedings commenced, the air thick with tension and expectation. But as the arguments were presented and evidence was submitted, a palpable unease settled over the room like a dark cloud on the horizon. Suddenly, all hell broke loose as the opposing counsel launched a startling accusation, hurling allegations of foul play and misconduct at our firm. My heart leaped into my throat as the judge ordered an immediate investigation, casting a shadow of doubt over our integrity. Panic swept through the courtroom like wildfire as lawyers scrambled to salvage their reputations, the cacophony of voices rising to a fever pitch. In the midst of the chaos, I found myself paralyzed, a mere bystander in the storm of controversy that threatened to consume us all. Hours stretched into eternity as the investigation unfolded, each passing moment laden with uncertainty and dread. But just as despair threatened to engulf me, a glimmer of hope emerged amidst the chaos. The truth, it seemed, was far more mundane than the sensationalist headlines had suggested. A simple clerical error, a miscommunication lost in the labyrinth of legal jargon. Relief washed over me like a tidal wave as the tension in the courtroom dissipated, replaced by a sense of weary resignation. As I emerged from the ordeal battered but unbowed, I couldn't help but marvel at the resilience of the human spirit. My first day on the job had been an odyssey of epic proportions, a baptism by fire that had tested my resolve in ways I never thought possible. But through the trials and tribulations, I emerged stronger and more determined than ever, armed with the knowledge that no matter what challenges lay ahead, I had the strength to overcome them. And as I look back on that fateful day, I realize that sometimes the greatest lessons are learned in the crucible of adversity. Title: Unforeseen Realms, A Voyage Beyond Chaos. The journey into adulthood unfurls like an epic saga, each chapter a tapestry woven with threads of uncertainty and adventure. As I embarked on my maiden voyage into the professional realm, the air crackled with anticipation, tinged with a whisper of apprehension. The sleek glass facade of the software development firm gleamed in the morning sun, a beacon of opportunity that beckoned me forth into the unknown. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation coursing through my veins, I crossed the threshold, eager to unravel the mysteries that awaited me within. The day unfurled in a blur of introductions and orientations, each encounter a fleeting glimpse into the intricate tapestry of corporate life. Handshakes were exchanged, names were forgotten, and amidst the whirlwind of activity, I found myself swept along like a leaf on the wind. Yet, beneath the veneer of camaraderie, I sensed a subtle undercurrent of tension, a silent acknowledgement of the challenges that lay ahead, lurking in the shadows of our collective consciousness. As the clock struck 9, I found myself ensconced in a cramped conference room, the weight of expectation bearing down upon me like an oppressive shroud. The air hummed with nervous energy as I prepared to face my first trial, a crucial project meeting with esteemed clients whose approval hung in the balance. Sweat prickled at my brow as I stumbled through my presentation, words faltering and thoughts scattering like leaves in the wind. The scrutiny of their gaze was palpable, each glance a dagger aimed at the heart of my confidence. With a perfunctory nod, the clients filed out of the room, leaving behind a palpable sense of disappointment that hung heavy in the air. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the hollow echo of my own breath. In that moment of defeat, I felt the first stirrings of doubt gnawing at the edges of my resolve, threatening to undermine the foundation upon which my dreams were built. But the day had only just begun its descent into chaos. No sooner had the echoes of the meeting faded away than a frantic commotion erupted throughout the office. A catastrophic server malfunction that sent shockwaves rippling through the very fabric of our existence. Panic spread like wildfire as technicians scrambled to contain the damage, their frantic efforts overshadowed by the enormity of the crisis at hand. The air crackled with tension as we grappled with problems beyond our comprehension, each passing moment fraught with uncertainty and dread. Hours blurred into eternity as we waged war against the relentless march of time, our spirits battered but unbroken in the face of adversity. The office hummed with the feverish energy of desperation as we raced against the clock, each keystroke a battle cry in the struggle for survival. And yet, amidst the chaos and confusion, a flicker of hope remained, a beacon of light amidst the gathering storm. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the deserted office, a sense of weary resignation settled over us like a heavy blanket. The temporary solution we had devised offered only fleeting respite from the storm that raged outside, a fragile bulwark against the tide of uncertainty that threatened to engulf us. And yet, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, I found solace in the knowledge that we had weathered the storm together, emerging battered but unbowed on the other side. As I made my way home that evening, bone-weary and drained, I reflected on the trials of the day with a mixture of exhaustion and gratitude. The journey into adulthood was not the idyllic adventure I had imagined, but a crucible of fire that tested the limits of my strength and resilience. And though the path ahead remained shrouded in uncertainty, I knew that I would walk it with head held high, fortified by the lessons learned amidst the chaos. For beyond the unforeseen realms of adversity lay the promise of growth and transformation, beckoning me onward towards horizons yet unseen. And so, with a heart full of hope and determination, I embraced the unknown, ready to chart a course through the turbulent seas of adulthood, one wave at a time. Title: Into the Abyss, A Journey of Trials and Resilience. Introduction. The morning sun cast a warm glow over the bustling city streets as I made my way to the sleek office building that housed my new workplace. Months of job hunting had led me to this moment, filled with equal parts excitement and trepidation. The anticipation simmered within me as I stepped through the polished glass doors, greeted by the sight of the bustling lobby. The receptionist's friendly smile washed away some of my nerves as I approached, and I couldn't help but feel a surge of optimism as she directed me to the elevator that would whisk me up to the 8th floor. Each step brought me closer to a new chapter in my professional journey, one that promised challenges and opportunities in equal measure. Step 1. The eager arrival. As the elevator doors slid open on the 8th floor, I was greeted by the sight of a modern, open-concept office buzzing with activity. The air hummed with the sound of ringing phones and clicking keyboards, a testament to the company's industrious nature. My manager, Ms. Henderson, stood at the center of the room, her presence commanding attention. Despite her stern demeanor, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of excitement as she welcomed me to the team with a brisk nod. Her brief overview of my responsibilities only served to stoke the flames of determination burning within me, and I resolved to tackle my new role with vigor. Step 2. The intimidating welcome. Settling into my assigned desk, I couldn't shake the feeling of being a small fish in a vast ocean. The sea of faces around me seemed to blur together as I immersed myself in the flurry of activity. Each passing moment brought a new challenge, a new task to conquer. As I delved into my work, I found myself grappling with the intricacies of the projects assigned to me, each one more daunting than the last. Doubt whispered insidiously in the recesses of my mind, but I pushed it aside, determined to prove myself worthy of my place in this high-stakes environment. Step 3. The sink or swim moment. Hours passed in a blur as I threw myself into my work with single-minded determination. The weight of responsibility bore down on me like a leaden cloak, but I refused to let it drag me under. Yet, as the day wore on, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over me like a shroud. The deadlines loomed ever closer, casting a shadow over my confidence. With each passing minute, the pressure mounted, threatening to crush me beneath its weight. I was teetering on the edge of exhaustion when disaster struck, plunging the office into chaos. Step 4. The unforeseen catastrophe. Without warning, the lights flickered and died, leaving the office shrouded in darkness. Panic rippled through the room like a wave as employees scrambled to save their work and locate emergency supplies. In the pitch-black abyss, I felt a primal fear clawing at the edges of my consciousness. The modern trappings of civilization had been stripped away, leaving us vulnerable and exposed. Trapped in the heart of the city with no power, I couldn't help but wonder what other horrors lay in wait beyond the safety of these walls. Step 5. The haunting aftermath. As the hours stretched on, the darkness seemed to take on a life of its own, pressing in on us from all sides. Tensions mounted with each passing minute, fraying nerves and testing patience to its breaking point. In the absence of electricity, tempers flared, and desperation hung heavy in the air like a thick fog. It was a harrowing reminder of just how fragile our existence truly was, a stark contrast to the illusion of control we so often clung to in our daily lives. And yet, amid the chaos, a glimmer of hope remained, a flickering ember of resilience that refused to be extinguished. Step 6. The cathartic resolution. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the lights flickered back to life, banishing the darkness and heralding the dawn of a new day. With a collective sigh of relief, we emerged from the shadows, battered but unbowed. The ordeal had tested us in ways we never could have imagined, but it had also brought us closer together as a team. In the face of adversity, we had banded together, drawing strength from one another in our darkest hour. As I reflected on the events of that fateful day, I realized that sometimes it takes a brush with the abyss to truly appreciate the light. And though the scars of that experience would linger, they served as a reminder of our resilience, our ability to endure even in the face of the unknown. Conclusion. My first day on the job had been a baptism by fire, a trial by ordeal that had tested my resolve in ways I never could have anticipated. From the eager anticipation of arrival to the harrowing catastrophe of the power outage, it had been a journey into the depths of my own resilience. And yet, Despite the fear and uncertainty, I had emerged from the crucible stronger, more determined than ever before. As I looked to the future, I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, I would face them head-on, armed with the knowledge that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope to guide us through. In the sprawling metropolis where ambition and opportunity collided, there existed a monolithic presence that cast its shadow over the cityscape, the headquarters of Apex Corp. This towering edifice, with its gleaming glass facade reaching towards the heavens, stood as a symbol of power and prestige in the cutthroat world of corporate finance. It was within these hallowed halls that the fate of fortunes was decided, where dreams were either realized or shattered in the blink of an eye. And it was here that Jake Masters, fresh-faced and brimming with ambition, embarked upon his journey into the heart of darkness. As Jake stepped through the imposing glass doors of Apex Corp's headquarters on that crisp autumn morning, he was greeted by a cacophony of sound. The rhythmic clatter of keyboards, the incessant ringing of phones, and the hurried footsteps of employees rushing to and fro. The air crackled with an electric energy, palpable in its intensity as Jake made his way through the bustling lobby, his heart pounding with a heady mix of excitement and trepidation. With his degree in finance clutched tightly in hand, he felt as though he were on the precipice of something monumental, poised to carve out his place within the hallowed halls of corporate power. Ascending to the 37th floor, where his new role awaited, Jake's nerves tingled with anticipation as he prepared to embark upon the next chapter of his professional journey. The office, with its sleek, modern design and panoramic views of the city below, exuded an aura of sophistication and prestige that filled Jake with a sense of awe. It was a far cry from the cramped lecture halls of his college days, a testament to the lofty heights to which he aspired. Amidst the hustle and bustle of the office, Jake found himself swept up in a whirlwind of introductions and orientation meetings, his mind awash with a deluge of information as he struggled to keep pace with the rapid-fire explanations of his new role. But amidst the chaos, there was a beacon of reassurance in the form of Sarah, a seasoned analyst whose warm smile and reassuring demeanor served as a lifeline amidst the storm. With her guidance, Jake felt a glimmer of hope amidst the overwhelming sea of uncertainty. As the morning wore on, and the sun climbed higher in the sky, Jake's stomach growled with hunger, a reminder of the breakfast he had skipped in his haste to make a good impression. Ignoring the gnawing ache in his belly, he soldiered on, determined to prove himself worthy of his newfound role. Little did he know, fate had other plans in store. It was shortly after noon when disaster struck with the force of a thunderbolt, sending shockwaves rippling through the office like a tsunami. The company's servers, the lifeblood of its operations, crashed without warning, plunging the entire floor into chaos. Panic swept through the office like wildfire as employees frantically tried to salvage their work, their livelihoods hanging in the balance. Phone lines jammed with irate clients demanding answers, while frantic technicians raced against the clock to restore order to the digital abyss. In the midst of the chaos, Jake found himself thrust into the heart of the storm, his fledgling skills put to the ultimate test under the unforgiving glare of scrutiny. With Sarah by his side, he dove headfirst into the fray, determined to prove his mettle in the face of adversity. Together, they navigated the treacherous waters of the crisis, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment as they fought to keep their heads above water amidst the swirling tempest. Hours stretched into an eternity as the crisis unfolded, each passing moment a testament to the fragility of the corporate world. But through sheer grit and determination, Jake and his colleagues persevered, their bonds forged in the crucible of chaos. As the clock struck midnight and the servers blinked back to life, a weary sense of relief washed over the office like a tidal wave. The crisis had been averted, but the scars it left behind would linger for years to come. In the aftermath of the ordeal, Jake emerged battered but unbowed, his baptism by fire a trial by which he had proven himself worthy of his place among the ranks of Apex Corp. Though the memory of that first day would haunt him for years to come, It would also serve as a reminder of his resilience in the face of adversity, a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul. And so, dear reader, let this tale serve as a cautionary reminder of the perils that await those who dare to tread the treacherous path of corporate ambition. For in the unforgiving world of finance, the line between success and failure is razor thin, and the true test of character lies not in the absence of adversity, but in the manner in which we rise to meet it. So heed these words well, and may you never find yourself facing your own first-day inferno, a terrifying true tale of workplace horror, etched forever in the annals of professional history.